Um, yeah. So about that, how to phrase it. So I would say, obviously, and I'm the one who just said it, like with when you asked me the three things dealing with the women, but I still would say in a lot of instances, well, with the scopamine and the drugging for Colombia specifically, you will actually be safer, in my opinion, with working girls than these so-called regular girls who masquerade as regular girls. Because what we normally hear, we hear that story that the guys who get got like that, the guys who, oh, I was helping her out with her bills. I known her for a year. All my trips, on the last 3 or 4 trips, I spent like either the first few days with her or the last few days with her on my trip. I keep in contact with her. I know her, blah, blah, blah. We don't really hear a lot of that from, the street girls per se. I think my theory behind that is because a true working girl who works that area, she's there to get paid. She's there to get paid, and she has to keep working that area. You're only in town for like so many days or a week or two, and you're only going to see her a couple times. That's her life. That's how she eats. That's her block. That's her turf, right? So she's not really trying to mess that up per se. But I guess maybe if she got a super duper lick, hit you and skip town. But normally she's out there trapping. The ones you got to watch out for are the wolves in sheep clothing. The ones who pass themselves off as regular girls, that's not in the area, that you don't walk out, you don't see them on the street, you don't even see them in the clubs per se. They're tucked away somewhere, and you only see them online on the profile, and then they come out, they taxi Uber over to you, and then they disappear in the wind. So this is a thing that goes back and forth. But and yeah, maybe because I'm pretty much a hardcore monger, so I'm a little biased. But I'm also just going from the information I see. Most of the time, what I hear, what I see in real life, these guys getting got in Colombia, these are from chicks they supposed to know. They're supposed to be regular chicks with jobs and college and university. She would never do that. I met her off Facebook. I met her off social media. She's a regular chick. She's not a working girl. She's not P for P. And guess what? Your ass still got. Meanwhile, guys I know, they paying it forward, right? They paying it forward, getting it done, and on to the next. So whatever it is, you gotta know how to move. So I will say this too, real fast. I'm just gonna throw this in there, throw the tidbit. A hack would be to, whether it's a hotel or Airbnb, a hack would be also, you don't have to, and I'm even saying this, and I'm the king of bringing the chicks back to my space because whatever. But I would have to say, you don't always have to bring them back to your spot. In a lot of these places, and we're talking of the red light districts, the P for P spots, the hot spots. A lot of these places come equipped with little love motels, short time hotels, little rooms that you can rent, for a little bit of nothing. Take the chicks and the chicas to these little love motels, these short time hotels. Do what you got to do there, and that way you don't really have to bring them back to your personal room or space where you have everything. I was pretty much always against that, but I would have to say honestly, some places that's probably more needed than others. So I personally, if in Colombia, if I was to do Medellin, Colombia, I would be very leery of bringing a chick back to my personal space, whether hotel or Airbnb. I would lean more on what they call a brothel, a casa, one of those institutions. If it's not a brothel or a casa, even if she's a chick from the street or the club, then I would go to a short time room, because once you bring her up into your personal space, you're kind of vulnerable.
Right. I completely agree with that. And then also, guys, when you bring these women back to your space, make sure, as what Big Boss said, make sure that you have all of your stuff locked up, especially like if you guys have laptop or anything that's extremely expensive or whatever the case is, your credit cards, all of that stuff. Make sure that you have everything in a safe, locked up. So even if you do get scoped or whatever the case is, she can't get access to you, to that stuff, man.
Yeah, she only can get what's out and available.
Right. Exactly.
But then at that point, the scary thing about the scope, then it's up to God. You better hope you wake up, because again, far as I know, a lot of these chicks are not nurses, right? So they don't know the dose to give you. And a lot of us tend to be a bigger size. So, so that might work a little bit. But because you're big, she might say, well, you know what? I don't want to give him too little and he wakes up too fast, right? Before I'm out of here. So I'm going to give him more than enough, maybe enough to, tranquilize her to knock out a horse.
Right.
Make sure he don't wake up. But the problem is then, some guys have pre-existing conditions. Some guys can have high blood pressure. They can be on certain medications. You can be a little overweight like I am right now, right? You can have pre-existing conditions and taking medication. And so then that interacts, so it can get very deadly. So, a lot of the chicks, they're not really trying to murk you, whatnot. Mm-hmm. They just want to rob you.
Right.
They do want to knock you out long enough so your big old 200-something pound self don't wake up. So they give you enough to knock you out, but they're not nurses.
Right. Exactly.
They don't know the proper doses. And then everybody is different. People have pre-existing health conditions, take medication. So there's no guarantee you're going to wake up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's an excellent point. Like, these women aren't nurses, so they don't know, and they're just trying to basically make sure that you knock out for a few hours so that they can get all the stuff, hack it to your bank accounts, all of that stuff, and withdraw the money. So all that stuff takes time. So no, you're absolutely right. All right. Also, we are over the 1 hour mark. Make sure that you do like and subscribe to Big Boss Real Talk channel. It is pinned at the top of the chat. Definitely make sure that you check out his channel. Has great content. Also, make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to myself. Also, Kings and Dreams on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, all of these things, man. So definitely appreciate y'all for rocking out. We got about 45 people in here total. We had like 50 at one point, man. So let's keep it going. All right, now gotta get some super chat. Gotta get to the super chat, man. Shout out to my man Ethan's Journey, man. He's out there in Colombia holding it down. Says, had a chick try to invite me for drinks near her home. It was 11 p.m. yesterday. I said no. I met her at the mall 1 month ago. Played it safe. Man, you know what? That's absolutely smart.
You might have just saved your own life, sir.
Yep.
You might have just saved your own life.
Absolutely, man. Good for you, bro. You know what I mean? Because like, even though you met her and things like that, like, things could kind of seem shaky. And also, you want to have her at your place because you don't want to be playing defense. You want to be playing offense, man.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, man. Let's get to some more of these comments, and then let me see if we got some questions in the chat. So I'm going to jump to the questions that you guys have for Big Boss. Let's see what we got here. Buck Travel says hookup culture is accepted, but mongering isn't.
Say that.
Okay.
That's real talk.